It's time for the Green Wave Coaches Show, broadcasting each week from Prince Street Pizza and Pub in Gallatin, Tennessee. The Green Wave Coaches Show is brought to you by Tennessee Ace Hardware, Gallatin's local hometown hardware store, serving Gallatin and Sumner County for the past 50 years. Stop by and let Jimmy and his staff take care of all your hardware needs. Bank Tennessee, the bank for the Green Wave. Delta Dental of Tennessee. Visit deltadentaltn.com. Double Dogs, Sumner County's favorite sports bar, and the Ingram Law Firm, a local law firm that you can count on. Let our legal family help you and your family in your time of need. Now, let's get to the show and join our host, Blaine Kellar.
Sumner County Sports Editor Blaine Kellar here, welcoming you back to the Green Wave Coaches Show. Welcoming Gallatin head coach Michael Stroup back to the show. After a week away, the Green Wave won 35-25 at rival Station Camp in the Mayor's Cup. Coach, it's your third straight win in the rivalry series, and an emotional one, given the week before dealing with Jackson Straub's fractured tibia and the surgery that followed with that. Just to start, can you talk a little bit about how this team rallied around their star quarterback, how they rallied around you for a rivalry win?
You know, the night before his surgery on a Wednesday, all the guys came over to the house. I mean, we probably had at one time 25, 30 kids in the house, and you know, I ordered about 15 large pizzas for them, and they sat there and sat with Jack, and they played PlayStation and talked about football, and you know, it was big for Jack for them to come over and hang out. You know, it was a tough week for us as far as our family and our football family too. You know, it's you know, you got a kid that leads the program and has done an exceptional job, not only on the field but off the field, being the guy that he is, and you know, and all the kids love him for it. And, you know, for those guys to do what they did, I'm going to tell you, man, last week was a tough practice. Like, it was a Debbie Downer every day. And I wasn't able to be there on Monday because we had to go get MRIs done. And then on Thursday he had his surgery, so I wasn't there for the last practice. But the days I was there on Tuesday and Wednesday, I just kind of felt like I wasn't there. And I'm sure some of the kids felt that way too, because you know, you're kind of having to you're having to change up, not change up your offense, but it's always been an element of the offense is to the quarterback runs. It's just that, you know, the past two and a half years we just haven't had to do that. You know, we've had a guy back there that can kind of see things before they happen and anticipate the throws and stuff like that. So he was that guy for us. But all the guys did a really good job of kind of coming together right before the game started. You know, and I felt like in the pregame we were just kind of down, and it was different. And so, you know, right before the game we got in the locker room and had a few words, and you know, the guys came out and I just told them all, you know, we just got to have something good happen for us. You know, something good's got to happen for us, and it's got to happen quick, and then maybe it snowballs. And it did. You know, we came out, and guys came out and executed. We got a big turnover there after the punt, and we didn't get in the end zone, but we were there. So the kids knew pretty quick, hey, we can move the football. So, yeah, proud of the kids, proud of the coaching staff, man, because they stepped up and took care of a lot of stuff that, you know, I wasn't there to do.
Our show is brought to you by Tennessee Ace Hardware, Bank Tennessee, Delta Dental, Double Dogs, and the Ingram Law Firm. We're here every Tuesday evening broadcasting from Prince Street Pizza and Pub in Gallatin. You said to your players, we just have to have something good happen. Something good happened in the form of Kayshawn Barksdale.
Yeah.
Davidson Academy transfer who came in as a wide receiver, played well through 3+ games, went back to the quarterback position that he played for the Bears, rushed for 220 yards, passed for 87 more, total 3 touchdowns. I bring all this up for a lighthearted exchange at the end of the game you and I had. I asked how you'd assess Kayshawn's performance. You asked me, how do you think he performed for his first game? I thought he performed pretty darn well.
Yeah, he did really well, and to be on short notice, Tim and Riley they split the reps that week, and we had to make a decision, and we felt like the run game was probably a little bit better for us at the time. Riley had Riley had a great week of practice, but there were some things that just wasn't clicking, and we knew we had that option of the run in there with us, so we went with him, and yeah, man, he had a game. He had a game to remember.
An impressive debut for Barksdale at quarterback. And an interesting quote from him afterward. I talked with him about kind of the dynamic between him and Malachi Harper, the running back who rushed for 174 yards himself. And he said, quote, "It's hard to stop two people who don't want to be stopped."
Yeah.
You like a quarterback to have that refuse to go down mentality in his first start?
Well, I think you want your quarterback to have a moxie, and and whatever their skill trait is, and you like your quarterback to have confidence, and he displayed it well.
It's an important distinction here for Gallatin's offense, one that I mistakenly made. It was not a new offense that you guys trotted out there. The run option has always been there, as you explained, for the quarterback. Kayshawn was just the type of quarterback to take those options throughout the game. It's a new wrinkle for this Gallatin offense.
Yeah, it's there's always a read option for the quarterback to run it on any running play. And it's an RPO, and it stands for run pass option, and either the running back or the quarterback can run it. So there's another element there to it that you got to prepare for, and like I said, KB came in and did a good job of it.
Barksdale had an interception in the third quarter that sparked a little bit of a run from Station Camp. Gallatin at the time led 21-3 at the end of the third quarter. It was 28-25. Late touchdown, good defense from Gallatin in the fourth, turned it to 35-25. How did Kayshawn bounce back maybe in that fourth quarter after throwing the interception in the third?
We had a bad third quarter. I think we gave up 22 points in the third quarter. Credit to defense. Let me say, it was 35-25. We get it. But defensively, man, they scored on a fumble.
Yeah.
All right, they scored on a fumble. They picked up, and we stripped out, and we also got another strip down there late in the game, and they said it was a face mask, but you go back on replay and no face mask. But we don't have that luxury in high school. But KB's just he's cool. Even when he threw the interception, he came over there and I had talk with him. I said, hey, just understand the situation, what we're trying to do right here, and we just want to move the chains. We just want to get a first down, and that's our goal now. You don't have to win it with one throw or one run. And he was like, yes, sir, I understand, and we moved on. But yeah, didn't get rattled very much. Didn't see any panic in anybody's eyes, especially KB's. He did a good job for us.
You talked about the defense. There's short fields, and then there's the short field that your defense forced a field goal out of.
Yes.
Right before halftime. Starting at their own 21-yard line, forced a short field goal right before halftime to make it a 21-3 game or 14-3 game at the break, I should say. Gallatin's defense was 1-11, forced 10 third down non-conversions by Station Camp, and had a shutout in the fourth quarter. Just give you a second here to kind of speak some praise on that unit if you haven't already done that.
Yeah, you can look at it from binoculars and just say, hey, we gave up so many yards, but that's a really good offense over there.
Yeah.
And when your tempo and they were 5 wide all night, quads to one side, split to another. So, you've got to defend sideline to sideline. So they're going to get theirs. But it's a bend but don't break mentality on defense when you're facing an offense like that. Overby's a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
But we were able to get him frustrated and keep pressure on him and make him feel uncomfortable and not just sit in the pocket and make throws. Get it off time. Mm-hmm. And we were able to do that with some pressure and whatnot. And, we had Ani Scott had a big pick there, and I don't know if that was the third quarter or fourth quarter. It might have been the fourth quarter. I can't remember, but had a big pick there of a throw across the middle of the field, and and again able to get pressure on the quarterback. I thought Jason Morton did a great job the other night playing. He played a lot of defensive end for us and was able to rush the quarterback and Preston Mooney on the other side, being able to push the quarterback to the other side. So, yeah, man, I was really proud of the defense, especially the back end, the secondary guys. Man, you got Ryan Williams and Ani Scott who are playing both ways now. Mm-hmm. They ran a lot of miles Friday night, defensively and offensively.
Ontario's one player I wanted to bring up, the fact that he played a much better second half than how things maybe started in the game for him. How did you see the response out of that player in particular?
You talking about offensively or defensively or both?
Well, I mean, also in the special teams game, there were a few plays I think Ontarians would like back from that first half that he maybe made up with a few plays in the second half.
Yeah, I think he dropped the opening touchdown on a fourth down. But again, I think that's a timing thing, and it's just, Ani's probably expecting the ball to get there a whole lot quicker, and it doesn't.
Different quarterback.
Yeah. Jack gets rid of it quick, and he's got a little steam behind it, and he really sticks it on them, so he kind of forces them to catch it sometimes. And KB's a little bit slower of approach, but that's a timing thing that will come as the season continues. He went and tried to. I don't know what he was doing, but they punted it. It touched them, and there's a first touch rule that is out there that I'm sure Ani doesn't even know about. But he doesn't need to jump on that ball. We had a good conversation about that on the sideline, and it was real positive, and I reinforced the importance of not doing that. And but second half he bounced back, made a great catch down there.
Bobbled catch.
Yeah, bobbled catch. But here's the thing, everybody looks at that and think, man, wow, that's a great play. He does that every day in practice. Like he'll make some great catches in practice for us all the time. And then a pick in the secondary. So Ani's a very football savvy kid, smart kid, and I'm glad we got him on our side.
One more question, recapping the Mayor's Cup. A Gallatin win 35-25 at Station Camp.
First time.
Oh.
In Mayor Cup history that there's been one school win it 3 times in a row.
Wow. Yeah. Dropping some trivia here on the Green Wave Coaches Show.
Put that feather in your hat.
I like it. Jackson obviously watching from home, and we'll touch on that as we continue on with our show here. Do you expect him on the sidelines for this Friday's game? If so, or if not, how can he continue to contribute to this team as the season goes on?
Well, it's funny you asked that question because I came out of halftime and the guys were stretching and getting ready to warm up and for the second half, and I get a phone call from Jack, and I answer it, of course. I usually don't like answering phones during the game, but it's Jack, and
right.
And so I answer it, and he's telling me all this stuff we can take advantage of in the passing game, and I'm like, hey, listen, KB's had 3 days or 4 days of practice now. Let's pump the brakes on this. But Dad, it's there. I get it. I understand. I see it too, big guy. And then I think on my way home on the bus, we're leaving Station Camp. I pull out my phone and I got a text message from Jack about, I don't know, it's about 9 o'clock, I guess, and it's got 2 words on it. It says bubble slant, like it's open, and I just kind of roll my eyes. But last night we turned on film and watched Mount Juliet and watch their secondary and their defense, and that's how he kind of contributes. And hopefully, I don't know if we've got an appointment in the morning to go see the doctor for a follow up, and if we can get him on the sideline where he's protected and safe, then, maybe we get him out there. Because he was wanting to come to practice today. But, I told him, I said, it's a little warm out there. Don't need you sweating. Don't need, he's not in a cast. He's just in an ace bandage with a brace and a mobilizer. So, I said, man, let's just be smart and not get that incision infected and whatever,
Right.
And so, but yeah, he's itching to get. He just wants to be around. He just wants to smell the grass and smell the leather of the football. So, I mean, that's where he wants to be, and hopefully we can get him out there.
Absolutely one of the best high school moments I've been a part of. We'll get to that in a little bit, but before then, we will preview Gallatin's game against Mount Juliet. You're watching the Green Wave Coaches Show on Main Street Media Television.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
When you're looking for the right attorney, it's important to ask questions that address your needs and concerns. Is your attorney local? A local attorney is often more attuned to the specific issues and challenges you may face. Jay Ingram understands the Gallatin, Sumner County, and Middle Tennessee communities well. He's been practicing law here for 25 years. What are their primary areas of practice? The Ingram Law Firm focuses their practice primarily on the areas of criminal defense, domestic relations, civil litigation, juvenile law, and probate. Do they genuinely care about the community? Jay Ingram, his associate attorneys, and legal staff are not only skilled, but they're also deeply invested in their community. Managing partner Jay Ingram is a graduate of Leadership Sumner and has held leadership roles with the Sumner County Bar Association, Gallatin Green Wave Quarterback Club, the Gallatin Lions Club, and he's a graduate of both Leadership Middle Tennessee and the Tennessee Bar Association's Leadership Law statewide program. Why does all of this matter? Finding an attorney who understands, cares about, and is connected to the local community can make a significant difference in your experience and your outcome. Jay Ingram, Haley Medley, and Austin Knapp are dedicated local citizens and attorneys who are here to help you navigate your legal challenges with compassion. Reach out to the Ingram Law Firm PLLC today at 615-452-6613 or visit ingramlawyers.com.
You're not going fishing till that grass is cut.
Dixie Chopper. Speed when you need it.
Visit your local Dixie Chopper dealer today or visit dixiechopper.com.
Score big with your hometown team. Bank Tennessee is proud to be the bank of the Green Wave. We believe in supporting our community and we're dedicated to helping our neighbors succeed. When you bank with us, your deposits help fund local businesses, homeowners, and community projects. Go Green Wave! Bank Tennessee, www.banktennessee.com, in Gallatin at 544 Hartsville Pike, 615-442-7914, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Green Wave Coaches Show is brought to you by Tennessee Ace Hardware, Bank Tennessee, Delta Dental, Double Dogs, and the Ingram Law Firm. Sumner County Sports Editor Blaine Kellar and Gallatin football coach Michael Stroup live from Prince Street Pizza and Pub. Getting ready to preview the Green Wave against Mount Juliet as region play picks back up. How much do you add to Kayshawn Barksdale's plate this week in terms of offense and based on what he was able to handle last week?
I mean, I think I think we, I don't know if you say add to his plate. It's just, what can he do, and you kind of get a sense of ideas through practice and how he executes certain things, and that's the approach, and that's the approach we took last week. What can he do? He tells us what he can do by how he practices, and that's what we've got to be able to do, and so that's where we are.
Mount Juliet 1-5 entering this one. The Golden Bears picked up their first win a week ago against Northeast. They got their quarterback back in J.J. Helm, who suffered a preseason injury, made his debut. Are you trying to tell your team to look beyond the record here? If any of them are focused on that this is a team that is maybe starting to get a little healthy, trending in some direction?
Well, I think going back to Cookeville and a lot of people, again, who look through it through binoculars, they look at a record and say, well, that team's not very good. Well, I think Mount Juliet's a physical football team, and they get after it. And any team that Coach Perry's a part of is going to be physical, and they're going to be sound defensively, and they're going to do what they do and get good at it.
Yeah.
I have all the respect in the world for Coach Perry, and the teams that he has over there. I mean, they whipped us 2 years in a row since I've been here. So, I don't go into any contest against any team thinking, well, they're 1-5. We've got a shot. We don't. We've got to execute, and that's why you play the game. You got to go out there and execute and be better than the other team. And they'll be a hard game Friday.
Something that's kept them in games throughout the first 6 weeks are the defense. And I was curious, pairing that with kind of how the last 2 games have gone for you against Mount Juliet. How do you start fast against this team? It's something you haven't been able to quite figure out through 2 meetings.
Well, I mean, the first year we played, it seems like 10 years ago, but I was new to the area, so it kind of took me a while to get a feel of everything, and then the second year it was I don't know, I felt like El Nino happened, and just it was the god-awfulest rainstorm that just sat on top of Mount Juliet for 2 hours, and the sail wasn't no bigger than the Mount Juliet, so it just sat there, and nobody was expecting it, and it just made conditions just terrible. We couldn't do anything, and again, I have all the respect in the world for them. We just got to come out and execute, and have confidence in what we're trying to do, and prepare the kids the best we can.
Talking with Jackson at Sumner County Media Days this summer, he had mentioned Hendersonville and Mount Juliet as 2 games, especially Mount Juliet, that he was looking forward to playing his senior year. Why that game?
Again, it's a team that he wasn't able to get a victory over, and I think that was a goal of his is to get a win over Mount Juliet, and but yeah, I think that was probably the biggest. We haven't talked about it, but I'm just assuming that's what it was.
Is it significant? Maybe, I know it's not necessarily significant to you individually, but to this community to continue kind of a rivalry winning streak that you have going this year, beating Hendersonville, beating Station Camp, have a chance to take down Mount Juliet, then close out that kind of rivalry slate with Beach in a couple of weeks. How important do you think that is, kind of the folks that follow Gallatin football?
I mean, I don't know how. I haven't asked them how important it is to them, but I know it's important to us. And we just gotta prepare, and it don't matter, get better. And last week doesn't matter. The win with the Mayor's Cup doesn't matter, and it's all about what we do this week and how we prepare this week, and just being 1-0 today. And I thought we had a good day today.
One reflective question coming up with Coach Michael Stroup here. On the other side of this break, you're watching the Green Wave Coaches Show on Main Street Media Television.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
When you're looking for the right attorney, it's important to ask questions that address your needs and concerns. Is your attorney local? A local attorney is often more attuned to the specific issues and challenges you may face. Jay Ingram understands the Gallatin, Sumner County, and Middle Tennessee communities well. He's been practicing law here for 25 years. What are their primary areas of practice? The Ingram Law Firm focuses their practice primarily on the areas of criminal defense, domestic relations, civil litigation, juvenile law, and probate. Do they genuinely care about the community? Jay Ingram, his associate attorneys, and legal staff are not only skilled, but they're also deeply invested in their community. Managing partner Jay Ingram is a graduate of Leadership Sumner and has held leadership roles with the Sumner County Bar Association, Gallatin Green Wave Quarterback Club, the Gallatin Lions Club, and he's a graduate of both Leadership Middle Tennessee and the Tennessee Bar Association's Leadership Law statewide program. Why does all of this matter? Finding an attorney who understands, cares about, and is connected to the local community can make a significant difference in your experience and your outcome. Jay Ingram, Haley Medley, and Austin Knapp are dedicated local citizens and attorneys who are here to help you navigate your legal challenges with compassion. Reach out to the Ingram Law Firm PLLC today at 615-452-6613 or visit ingramlawyers.com.
You're not going fishing till that grass is cut.
Dixie Chopper. Speed when you need it.
Visit your local Dixie Chopper dealer today or visit DixieChopper.com.
Score big with your hometown team. Bank Tennessee is proud to be the bank of the Green Wave. We believe in supporting our community and we're dedicated to helping our neighbors succeed. When you bank with us, your deposits help fund local businesses, homeowners, and community projects. Go Green Wave! Bank Tennessee, www.banktennessee.com, in Gallatin at 544 Hartsville Pike, 615-442-7914, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Blaine Kellar and Michael Stroup closing out the Green Wave Coaches Show here at Prince Street Pizza and Pub. As I mentioned earlier, I thought the way the Mayor's Cup ended on Friday was one of the coolest high school moments I've been a part of as a sports reporter. The Gallatin principal, Ron Becker, comes up to you and says, "We are driving the buses, like it or not, past your house to celebrate this win," with Jackson, who was watching the radio, listening to the radio feed, watching the live feed on an FHS. Well, and it was so cool to see the video of that afterward. As a dad, I mean, how can you reflect on that moment and just how neat that was overall?
Well, I think as a dad and as a coach, because I'm both, I've always raised my kids not to, it's not about you, and it's not about, you give as much credit to your team and the people around you as you can, because then they will fight for you if you do that. And that's how I was raised, and that's how I raised my two boys. And when Dr. Becker came up to me and said that, he could see it coming across my face like, "No, we're not going to do that." And then he did not give me a choice.
Yeah.
and I'm glad he didn't, because it was good for Jack. It was good for me. It was good for my wife. I don't know how much it was good for my neighbors.
We're probably well asleep by that point.
Yeah, the police officer coming through there with the lights and the buses honking horns, and then we had a caravan of people behind us.
Wow.
They were honking their horns. But it was big. It was a big moment, and all the kids sticking their heads out the bus, telling them they loved him and all that stuff. So it helps.
Yeah. Check out that moment. We got a video of that on my social media on Twitter. You can check that out. Credit to Hank Lopez, Gallatin assistant coach, and Denton Moore for sharing it. Credit to Coach Stroup for your honesty throughout this week. I really appreciate you sharing kind of the emotional side and allowing us to tell that story. Hoping the best for Jackson, hoping the best for the Green Wave as they take on Mount Juliet. And a bye coming up after that. So no show next week, but we appreciate you tuning in to the Green Wave Coaches Show.